Today on the channel from McFarlane Toys and the Spawn line, we've got a big hairy bipedal creature. We got CyGor. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another McFarlane Toys Spawn unboxing and review. And today from McFarlane Toys, we've got CyGor. But remember, for all your Todd McFarlane needs and a whole lot more, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. And this is one of the most highly anticipated figures for me outside of the normal, Mattel, Marvel Legends, Hasbro, G.I. Joe, that kind of stuff. Kind of the McFarlane sublines and some of the Ultimates of Super 7, things like that. Stuff off the beaten path, I guess is how I view it. This is one I've been wanting for a while. I go way back on this character CyGor, from back in the 90s with the original Spawn toys. So to get a modern, updated version, big, bad, mechanical gorilla, this is checking old Kyle's box. I got a history with the character, and I love a hairy bipedal creature, as you guys all know. And of course, we're going to do this unboxing like we do all the other unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And I've lost track of what CyGor is up to in the comic books and stuff. But we have seen CyGor recently released in other action figure lines. We're going to do a little comparison at the end of the video, as we usually do. So stay tuned for that. So there he goes. Let's take a look at CyGor on the packaging, in the package right now in the old plastic prison here, cardboard prison. Got the Spawn logo down below. You got CyGor's name down below. It looks like he's just walking out of flames, like some kind of crazy action adventure movie with a gorilla running away from a big bomb explosion in a town or something. I mean, it just looks so cool and menacing. Big, heavy, big figure. Very reminiscent of Violator that we got in Series 1, I guess we would call it, of Spawn figures. We'll see if that Violator is about the same size. We'll compare those two, of course, later on in the video when we get them out of the package. You got CyGor looking big, bad, ugly over here. Spawn logo at the top. Got a beautiful action shot of the action figure there. A little glamour shot. And then you got the Spawn logo once again. A lot of window packaging here, letting the light in, of course. And then, of course, you get the back of the package. Look at CyGor, looking big and bad. Spawn logo, 22 points of articulation. You got his name. No blurb of any kind there. That is a little disappointing. Big window box there. UPCs, warnings, stuff like that on the bottom nobody cares about. So let's get him out of the package. A bit of a thin cardboard, not a heavy cardboard stock, and we're seeing that with Mattel, a lot of toy lines. Inflation, things are going up, materials cost more. They're finding a way to save money wherever they can, and I prefer a cheaper package in return of not having a cheaper figure. But it depends, some inbox collectors could struggle with that a little bit, I could imagine. Can I get him out? Uh-oh, are we locked in? Oh, we're taped in. They don't want CyGor escaping, and that makes sense. Gorillas, you guys all saw King Kong. We all know what happened. You got to have these guys strapped in just right. And I guess that's what the McFarlane team is doing right there. Pulling him out. What do we got going? Holy cow, this is a big, heavy one, guys. Oh, I can smell it. It smells just like China factory. But look at that cool background in there. Lightning, all kinds of explosions going on. We do got a stand in there as well. Always need to stand with your McFarlane figures. See you later. Get out of here. Don't ever come back. All right, well, we got a lot of twist ties going on here. I'm going to have to take this offline, but there he is in the plastic prison. Let me get him out of the package. We'll be back, and we're going to talk CyGor Mania. All right, we're back, and we got CyGor out of the package. We'll give this the old see you later up high, goodbye, all kinds of mess. But then these twist ties, I wanted to comment on these, because we love talking twist ties on the channel, or it's just an observation here. But, usually you see the really hard wire twist ties, or you see kind of like the plastic rubber band twist ties. This is almost somewhere in the middle. I think this is the first time I've encountered this. Not as heavy as wire, but a little heavier than the traditional like rubber bandy kind of ones. So using some new processes here, I found that to be a little bit interesting. Thought I'd comment. See you later off to the side. Clean that up. So now let's get down to CyGor. Let's get down to this plastic prison. He's out of the plastic prison. Let's get down to the figure. Let's see what is going on here. He's big, he's bad, he's beefy. He's got some big ratchet joints. I think I just heard it. Listen in here. Almost sounds like a gorilla when you move his arms. Is that supposed to be that way? I don't know. But first thing you notice is his crazy head. He's got the wide open mouth. He is ready to rip your head off. He's got his red eyes. And then, of course, the head. He has the half mechanical there. Unfortunately, he got worked on. And then he's got big bloody scars on the side of his head. This is a gorilla that's seen some things, people. This is a gorilla. This isn't your average gorilla in the zoo by no means. Big ratchet shoulders going on both sides. He does have a little shoulder guard right here. Does not limit his articulation, but the articulation is extremely tight. You can hear it right there. Big time tight, but he does have an arm guard there. He's kind of got a big apparatus over half of his body over to the robot arm, even a back plate going on. This arm has a lot more articulation, a lot more free because of the no shoulder pad there. Beautiful black hair. This looks like a gorilla. It looks like King Kong. That's what you got going on with that. Articulation-wise at the elbow, oh my gosh, you got some stiff joints here. Not a ton. You do have articulation there, but not a ton. And you got to be careful because once again, like we see with Star Wars Black Series, sometimes you got some piping wires here. Nice gold color to set those off. But I could see somebody breaking those, ripping those. So you got to be careful on there. Got some more of the piping wires here, but in blue, a nice color change as well. Nice wrist gauntlets here. It's all molded together. Got nice hair throughout, black hair like a gorilla would have. It's not a silverback, it's a regular gorilla. But then you get the Frankenstein stitching all over his body. I mean, man, the pain CyGor went through to become what he is now, just unprecedented there. And he's got that stitching throughout his entire body. You get down to the hands. What do we got here? Not a lot. Now, I thought these almost looked like there was articulation at the knuckles. There is not. So this is just a hand. Doesn't hold anything, doesn't do anything. It's just a gorilla robot hand. I thought there was going to be more to that, but there is not. It does have articulation, so you can move it around. Big, heavy-duty ratchet joints. Just very cool. Oh, you can do side to side on the arm, but once again, you got to be careful of these pipes. You don't want to rip those bad boys out. I don't think I said the head does move. It slides. It can slide down. It can slide up. It can slide side to side depending where you have it. So you get a little bit of movement. Can't go, well, you can go decently up as well. A lot more than I thought. It does kind of hide itself back here in the plastic. So that is interesting. The other arm, 100% mechanical arm. Big heavy-duty ratchet. You do have more mobility out of this elbow just because the piping doesn't limit you. You've got gold piping on the side that is molded in. There's a lot of robot molded in and a nice dark wash throughout this body, really making him seem tough, like he's seen a lot of things in life. Getting down to the waist, you do have the waist that moves. A lot of movement, as a gorilla would have, of course. A lot of movement at the waist. You can get him in all kinds of different positions. He does have knees and thighs that have articulation. This is very weird, like his crotch piece, his diaper piece, I mean, that's what it feels like, is a totally different plastic and is very soft. There is no hardness at all, so it really does almost look like he's wearing pants. Gorilla pants is what it looks like. Very strange, but I guess because of the big body nature, that helps with the articulation, gives him a little bit more articulation. But it is a strange feel when you feel this big chunk, heavy-duty plastic here, and then you get down to his waist where it's just soft. And it does move around and get a little off-centered from time to time, so that is, I don't know if I like that. I really honestly don't like this. I would have rather had more sculpt in there. It just feels a little bit strange. Then, of course, he does have the big monkey butt there. It looks just like any monkey's butt in a zoo if you're checking those guys out. That's what he's got going on there as well. So they do have that sculpted in, which is kind of funny. The back plate full of different mechanical gadgets. It almost looks like compressor valves and stuff going on there. So once again, poor CyGor, he's been through some battles. He's seen some things in his time. Getting down to the feet, is there ankle articulation? There is. Not a ton, but there is actual articulation in the ankles down here. And then, of course, the foot peg hole for the stand. And then you got knee articulation. Not a ton of movement there. I got to think this guy's going to be very difficult to stand. Just with the low body, the lower torso, and the big, heavy upper torso. I don't know if he's going to be able to stand so well by himself. That's going to be a lot of work. And gosh, this diaper piece really does limit some of the fun down low with this big gorilla of CyGor. I think you're going to have to use maybe some of his other his hands as more of a tripod. You know, gorillas are known to do that kind of stuff, but I'm going to have to try to get him into some good poses. But I think it could be very difficult. He is a heavy figure. He's going to fall over. It's going to be trying to find that sweet spot and playing around with him to get him stand, because there's no way that little Mcfarlane stand is really going to hold him down. I just don't see that happening. But he is difficult to get standing. There we go. You find the sweet spot in the knees, you can put in there. But I'd be a little leery if he'd knock down some of your other action figures if you're not careful if he falls over. But man, he's a big, heavy chunk of plastic. He definitely looks good. There you go. Stand right there. How about we put him next to the Violator? We all know the Violator, of course. Actually comparable. Violator seems like a bigger figure, but when you get them side by side, Violator's just a hair bigger. But he seems like he's way bigger, and I guess he's maybe a hair wider than CyGor. Just a different. They're both big figures, just a different way of going to market with your big figures with Mcfarlane here, I guess is what we'll say. But Violator, once again, these big figures, very top heavy. You got to find the sweet spot to get them to stand. Always got to compare it to Spawn. How do we look next to Spawn? And Spawn, obviously much smaller than CyGor here. And now, I don't remember CyGor being this big in the comic books. He was a big gorilla, but I don't remember him being like King Kong levels or just ridiculous size levels, but it's been a long time since I've read. But I'm here for this, as you guys know. I love a big hairy bipedal creature. But speaking of them, how about CyGor's figure from early, was it late 2020? Probably this came out from the Walmart exclusive Raw 10 line. We had CyGor in that line as well. A much bigger version, much meatier version of CyGor released in that Raw 10 line. A much cheaper version too, about, you know, $15 compared to $40-50 depending where you're getting this guy from. Different plastics, different levels. This is more of your kid's toy. This is more of your adult collector's toy. That's how I see the differences between those two. But pretty cool to compare CyGor. And CyGor, a bit of a deep cut, but pretty cool to get two figures over the last couple of years from Mcfarlane and Mcfarlane's two different toy lines here. But for me, I'm taking this CyGor all day long over this one. Nothing against this one. I like it. It's cool. It has a spot in my collection, but this is more akin to the CyGor I know and love. Something tells me, like we always see with Mcfarlane, we're going to see this come back out again a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever. He'll be bloody version. He'll be a purple version, just like the old days. Got to get the most out of your molds, and Mcfarlane does that to a T. But CyGor, man, I'm here for it. I recommend picking this one up if you love a hairy bipedal creature, if you love Mcfarlane toys, if you love Spawn. This is going to be in your wheelhouse. Got to be hitting store pegs pretty soon, you would think. If not, you can go to Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below, and get him pre-ordered, as he should be shipping out anytime now. So there's CyGor. You guys in the comments, let me know your thoughts on this one. Easy pass, easy pickup. Any CyGor thoughts? Let me know down below. Of course, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the old notification bell. Find me on social media on Twitter at SirPaul64, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for CyGor, Todd Mcfarlane, and Spawn, I am Kyle. I will see you guys all real soon.